New World Patch 1.9.3 has some interesting changes, so let's have a look at it and let's talk about them. So here we are, here is the patch, and you can see it is going to be happening tonight if you're on the west coast of America, but it's going to be first thing tomorrow if you're in the EU or anything like that. Now they do say that it's got some changes to gear sets, Springtide Bloom, and more. And it does. So the Beekeeper and the Springtime Ruffles apparel sets have been broken into individual purchases. I'm presuming that's going to apply to new purchases. If you've already bought it, I'm guessing you're just going to have the whole thing. If I'm honest, I've bought them all, but I haven't tried them on. They've added a heart rune charge to the Wispy Wasp Swarm. I don't actually know what that means. The Springtime Premium token recipe, the one where you exchange goo, is now listed as a premium token in the crafting menu. Okay. This one's a little bit of a buff. The players can now get 4 Springtime Jingle coin bags a day up from 3. So basically the actual event ones, even though there's 4 places where you can get it, the villages, you could only actually get the rewards from 3 for whatever reason. You only got 3 bags. This actually just going to be a little bit more gold for everybody. This is a quest which I actually don't know what it is, but the Perivale guards now drop the intact spear haft quest item from the book 3 Padrils in the A Spear to Pierce the Heavens quest line. Okay, I read that really awkwardly, but some of you might know what that means. Returning players who have completed part of the original MSQ can now speak to Jonas to resume it in Brightwood. I'm guessing some people might have been getting stuck, and that might be one reason. They have removed 3 depreciated lore notes from the Alephipargo, which should cause the game to softlock on interaction. I think basically you could get frozen. I'd seen some people complaining about that. The invisible collision has once again been removed from the entrance of the Crystal Cavern. This next one I didn't realise was happening, but it is really funny. They fixed an issue that caused players to unintentionally bring game mode specific items like powder kegs into the open world. I wish I knew how you could do that because that sounds really funny. This next one is a really big one for me, and I'm really happy to actually see it, because in my head it was sort of like a bug, but it actually was intentional. Commander Mauritius's Magma Ball hazard will now display a secondary ring to denote the area in which the impact shockwave will cause minor damage and stagger to the player. And that makes sense, because I was always complaining that I was getting hit by the bloody ring when I wasn't actually in the ring. And that's why, it's because it actually was intentional that it had a secondary ring. Okay, fair enough. They fixed an issue that caused items in the purchase gear set slots to return to players' inventory. I didn't see that one myself, but fair enough. And then we have some big changes to the economy. So basically, long story short, flame cores are going to go down in obtainability, so possibly up in price, but then their use is also coming down a little bit. So level 55 open world elite runs, basically, is it Athalas, the one that is the Varangian Night area in the Ebonscale? Instead of having a 100% chance of a flame core, it's only going to be 75% chance. And regular chests are going to drop from 20% to 10%, but the unstable casks now only require 3 instead of 10, and you can now craft 6 of those a day instead of 3. And not only that, you actually get improved quality, so okay, makes sense, good. It was a little bit pointless to actually do that crafting, because the items were so garbage basically most of the time. They've added a couple of things to the season pass. Basically, it looks like it's kill enemies in specific areas or kill named items or elite items. Enemies, sorry, not items. They've made the flawless victory in PvP arena. It was changed to only earn 1 victory in PvP arena, and you only need to earn 100 PvP experience from players instead of 1,000. You don't need to do 3 arenas, you only need to do 1. They've halved the amount of damage you need to do for that one, reduced the amount of assault by like from 5,000 to 1,000. Basically, they've made a lot of these, especially the PvP ones here, much easier. Instead of 2 PvP faction missions, it's 1. Instead of crafting 5, you only have to craft 3 of these. Yeah, basically just making the season pass a lot easier. They've made the outpost rush wins from 10 to 5, invasions from 2 to 1, reduced the open world play kills from 50 to 15. Hey, and what I'm actually going to be able to do now, they've adjusted it for multiple season journey challenges. So this one, I was really struggling to get anywhere near 100. Like, I was really struggling. I think I'm on like maybe like 20, and I do outpost rush like quite a bit, and now they changed it to 30, so I will actually be able to hit that one. Great stuff. You only need to get 100 kills instead of 500. You only need to contest 30 instead of 50 of these capture points forts. You need to craft 100 instead of 120. I feel like 100 is still quite high, but with the patterns it's made it like a lot easier. Added some stuff to the UI, like to explain some stuff. Fair enough, nothing amazing here. Fixed an issue that was rare, but it actually prevented people from turning off their PvP flag. Didn't see it myself. To be fair, I rarely flag up these days, but yeah, fair enough, makes sense. And they've lowered the amount of echo, which I thought they'd already done. But yeah, some really big changes to the economy there. So the season pass basically is getting nerfed or buffed, whichever way you want to take it. It's going to be easier to complete it. Just all around, it's going to be easier. There's extra things being added, and yeah, just easier basically, it looks like to me. Flame cores, well, the amount that we have is actually going to go down. So the price might go up, but then the use for them is also going down, so maybe not, because you're only going to require 3 flame cores instead of 10 to craft those. So I think the cost of those will actually probably drop even so because of that change. But flame cores, big changes there, and small changes to the Springtide Bloom event. I don't think any of this is necessarily major, but all very interesting. There's nothing here where I think it looks crazy or bad or anything like that. Yeah, pretty happy, pretty good. Big shout out to my YouTube patrons and members. If you want to help the channel, that's the best way to do so. Otherwise, come and give me a follow over on Twitch. I'm not really streaming as much this week just because I'm like away this week, but I will be popping it off very soon. What you should definitely do though is have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.